I want to give you a quick Senate update. The Senate races are very close. It could go either way. We could lose a bunch net, or we could win a bunch net. I just don't know what's going to happen. I will tell you that 30 people from Hawaii and our DC office are in Montana being poll watchers tomorrow for my friend John Tester. He is in a one-point race. Joe Donnelly in Indiana is in a one-point race. Heidi Heitkamp is a little behind, but we are turning out the vote on Native American Indian reservations. We have a good chance to do well, but I do not prognosticate anymore after the year 2016.
We've seen what's gone on. We've seen what's gone on in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to speak from the heart here. You all know I came from residency, my medical residency training in Pittsburgh, right before I was blessed to come and be the doctor in Ka'u, right? One of my doctors in Pittsburgh, Dr. Rabinowitz, one of my mentors, was one of the 11 that was murdered at the synagogue in Pittsburgh just about 10 days ago. And so you can imagine what that means to the world of all of us out there who want to see a civil discourse, who want to see government where people lead not just in a heartfelt way, an intellectual way, but in a moral way. I want so badly for us across the nation to have Democrats take over that Congress so we can investigate the heck out of this administration, this president, and put this country back on the right track.
Do we all know? Do we all really care about what is happening right now? Right now, there are 4,000 Central American immigrants, men, women, children, the elderly, 900 miles from the US-Mexico border, making their way to America. They are hungry, they are desperate, they are broken, limping, they are bruised, carrying their babies, driven by hope and opportunity and a brighter future for their families. Many will not make it. Many will give up and turn back. Some will die. But for the privileged few that do make it to America, what will greet them at the southern border in a few weeks? What did America do today, on the 5th of November? We, and I say we because we're all in this together, just sent thousands of active duty military troops, already tired from multiple deployments overseas, had them leave their families to militarize and defend the southern border for the next 41 days, joining thousands of National Guard troops, more troops than what we currently have in Iraq and Syria combined, spending millions of taxpayer dollars against innocent immigrants, innocent civilians seeking a better life, who just want to be given a chance, who want to work hard and they want to contribute to America. Just like all of our immigrant relatives and ancestors who came to Hawaii over a century ago. You know, I want to know what happened to that message. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. What happened to that message? There is something profoundly wrong in America today. We are better than this, and as Democrats, we need to unite around common goals.
You know, I'm proud that I could stand up and join the U.S. Climate Alliance and join other governors and states when the president and the Republican Party is trying to run away from our environment and run away from climate change. We stood up because we know how important it is. And we as an island community know that we get impacted first. When sea level rises 3 feet to 6 feet, we are going to see it first, and we see it happening already all around the state of Hawaii.
And this tradition that we have here to gather together with our friends and neighbors, with our brothers and sisters, gives us that opportunity to be inspired by the aloha spirit that binds us all together. especially during these dark and divisive times, where so often we feel surrounded by hatred, by bigotry, and especially more recently, seeing that bigotry turn to violence. Never more has our country been in more need of this aloha spirit.
Please give a grand hello welcome to your United States Senator, Mazie Hirono.
Thank you. Okay, for all of us Democrats, I have to say, every time you're watching the news, doesn't it make your head explode on a regular basis? Yes, because if it doesn't, you're not paying attention. So I, am at the national level, believe me, not a day goes by that there's not some other crisis that is being manufactured mainly by President Trump and his minions. And right now, in the day before the election, here's what they're relying on. The president is continuing to raise the fear of immigrants in our country. He's raising race as an issue to the point where his last ad had to be pulled by even Fox News for being so racist. The Republicans are relying on voter suppression in places like North Dakota, where isn't it bad enough that the Native Americans, their lands were taken and not a single one of their treaties that we had with them was abided by, and now there are overt efforts to keep them from voting. These are the original peoples. So they're also relying on big fat lies. I've said not just lies, whoppers. Now that the Republicans have figured out that healthcare is an issue for all of us, that it concerns every single one of us, they are lying about wanting to protect everybody with pre-existing conditions, and that they are the ones who are protecting healthcare for people, including everyone with pre-existing conditions, which is 1 out of 4 people, by the way. I know that there are a lot of people sitting right here who have pre-existing conditions. I am one of them. There are hundreds of thousands in the state of Hawaii, millions all across the country. And when you hear them saying, well, I'm the one who voted to support pre-existing conditions and the Affordable Care Act, they must think that the people of our country are not paying attention because they voted dozens of times to eliminate the protections for pre-existing conditions. So I never heard such big fat lies coming out of their mouths. Well, I have heard it because, Trump has been in office now for almost 2 years. We can't let them get away with it. And I say, in this election, with more women than ever, more minorities than ever running for office, that if we do not turn out all across the country, and in Hawaii too, because believe me, we should not take for granted that we have all these wonderful Democrats running in so many races and who hold office, that we should just sit back and not even bother to vote. We in Hawaii need to show, as we have always shown this country, what aloha means, what love means, what ohana means, that we do not take our votes for granted. And I tell you, if we don't come out year after year with the kind of percentages of voting, we are falling down on our jobs. And basically, we are dishonoring, in my opinion, all the people who fought for votes for all of us. So let's not do that. Tomorrow is election day. If you know any people all across the country, especially in places where the Democrats are up against it. This would be Montana, Wyoming, Florida, Tennessee, Nevada, North Dakota, all of these places where our friends are running. Please call them up, call up your friends, because every vote will count. This is the election of a lifetime.